Hey guys, it's Mike here from Ball & Boas, and today we're going to be doing the first episode of Boa Talk TV. And I did want to go live last night. I was planning on going live at 10 p.m. last night and to keep doing a weekly episode every Friday at 10 p.m. So we're going to stick to that. So next Friday, hopefully, we're going to go live at 10 p.m. This new channel I created is not giving me the option to go live right now for some reason. So I don't know if it's because I didn't have any videos downloaded yet or what's going on. My other channel, Ball & Boas, it gives me the option right next to where it says record. It says go live. So I don't know what's going on with this channel, but we'll get that figured out in the next week. But without any further ado, guys, basically, let's get into it. And Boa Talk TV is going to be just a weekly show that's going to be talking about boas, and more boas, guys. We're going to be talking about breeding, feeding, general maintenance, care, and just all the above boas. And then when we go live, we'll be taking questions, and you know, it's going to be really cool, guys. So and then also we're going to have some giveaways that I'm going to be doing from when we do have some litters here at Ball & Boas. I'm going to be giving away maybe a couple more free boas. I just started to have the leopard gecko eggs, so we'll be giving a few more, maybe some giveaways of those. And also I'll be giving away, like, you know, people can win like 50% off a boa, so that's going to be cool too. So without any further ado, guys, let's go. And episode 1 is going to be called Introduction into the Boa Constrictor, guys. And today we're just going to go over a small introduction into the boa constrictor, guys. So we're basically going to let you know what a boa constrictor is and let you know a couple of cool facts you might not know about the boa constrictor. So we'll start off by saying that the boa constrictor is what you call a New World snake, guys. And a New World snake means that it lives exclusively in the Western Hemisphere of the world, guys. And certain subspecies and localities of boa have been found to range from Mexico all the way through Central America, all the way, basically, boas range from Mexico, Central America, into South America, and they range throughout the Americas, and from the northern side of Mexico through Central America. And let me see here, guys, I have a couple of facts written down. So the boa constrictors ranging through the Americas and the northern Mexico through Central America all the way into Peru. That's what I was looking for. So they range from Mexico through Central America, and I'll tell you in a minute what the 7 countries of Central America are. And then into Peru on the west side of the Andes, into the south to Argentina on the east side, guys. So that's a wide range. And then they do have boas into South America, into South American countries. A really widely kept boa constrictor, the most commonly kept boa constrictor across the world, especially in the United States, is the Colombian red-tail boa constrictor, BCI Colombian, aka the Colombian red-tail. And people would debate that that's not a true red-tail, and you know, and that there are other boas like the BCCs and the Surinames and stuff like that. They're like the true red-tails, but either way, that's another debate, guys. But yeah, guys, so that's one of the widely kept boas is the BCI Colombian, aka the BCI Colombian red-tail. So, and also, guys, when I say they range from Mexico through Central America, the 7 Central American countries are Belize, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, and Panama, guys. So that's the 7. And also, a couple more cool facts, guys, is that obviously, if you have a boa or you've studied them a little bit or read up on them, they're non-venomous snakes. They constrict their prey, and they don't have they don't have fangs either. What they do have is small, curve-shaped teeth that help them grab their prey and hold it and pull it back as they eat it, so and ingest it. In a common boa constrictor, a male BCI Colombian can grow upwards of 6-7 feet for a male. Some males get bigger, and females grow upwards of, say, 7.5, upwards of 9 to 10 foot. I think the biggest boa constrictor on record, guys, is almost 14 foot. There have been reports of bigger boa constrictors than that, but I think the biggest one on record, don't quote me exactly, but I think it's just under 14 foot long, guys. So that's a pretty big boa constrictor. And I have seen a few people on YouTube that claim to have a few, boas bigger than that, but they don't really give a wide shot, and they don't really give a shot with, like, say, a tape measure stretched out to 15 foot so we could see it or anything. But they have massive boas. I'd probably rate the ones that I've seen. We're not going to give out any names, but I'd probably say they're around 11.5 feet long, which is really big for a boa, but it's probably nowhere near 13, 14 foot. But if it is, I'd love to see it. I'd love to come see it personally. I would travel a few states away, if not 7, 8 states away, to see a 14, 15 foot boa constrictor, guys. So that would be awesome. And also, boas are predominantly nocturnal reptiles, guys, nocturnal snakes. They do come out in the daytime to thermoregulate, and they'll come out to heat up, they'll bask in the sun and things like that, but they predominantly like to come out and move around and hunt at night. So, that's another thing about the boa constrictor. And another thing is, we'll get off that subject, and we're going to go towards the subject of, smaller boa constrictors, like if you wanted, say, a dwarf-sized boa. Now, we just told you how big, like, a common BCI boa is, like a Colombian mainland, and there are island dwarfs and there's mainland dwarfs. And some mainland dwarfs are, there's Costa Ricans, there's Nicaraguans, so there are some mainland dwarfs, and then there are, you have Hog Island, you have Pearl Island, you have Corn Island, so there are a lot of dwarf species of boa. You have Central American dwarfs, so you do have quite a few dwarf species of boa, guys, and the island dwarf species of boa tend to stay the smallest. I mean, sometimes males won't even get 5 feet, and females can hover around 5 to 6 feet, and males from 4 to 5 feet, so they stay very small. I have a few mainland dwarf boas. I have a pair of Nicaraguans that they're breeding now, if you follow Ballin' Boas and you've seen some recent videos. And my male is about maybe 5 foot, maybe a few inches over, and my female is about 6.5 feet, give or take a few inches, and they're full grown, guys. They're both over 7 years old. So, the male's probably pushing 7 and the female's probably pushing 8. So, yeah, guys, so they're predominantly small compared to some of the other boas, and the size that these other boas can reach, and also in weight, because some boas can weigh upwards of 40 pounds plus, guys. I've seen boas that were 45 pounds, 50 pounds. I don't have any boas that big here. I think my biggest boa here, Dottie's probably over 20 pounds. And, not much over, but I'd say she's at least hovering between 22 and 24. So she's a decent girl. But also, guys, we'll cover a few more subjects too while we're here in the introduction into the boa. So if you're planning on getting a boa constrictor, guys, remember that boa constrictors are long-lived reptiles, which means, guys, you could get a baby boa constrictor from a pet store that is, say, 18 inches long when you get it, right? This thing is going to get 10 feet long, and it may live 25, 30 years. There have been reports of boas living over 30 years, 35 plus years, guys. So it's a long-lived reptile, guys. So remember, if you're going to get one, plan on caring for this reptile for 20 plus years easily, guys. So, and also we're going to show you some difference in the subspecies of boa, and I'll show you the difference between a 9-month-old mainland dwarf boa and then a 9-month-old mainland just normal BCI boa that's not a dwarf. We'll show you they're about 3 weeks apart in age, and we'll show you the size difference. It's a big size difference, so you can see dwarfs do stay smaller, and their feeding schedules are basically exactly the same. They get fed on the same day, but their prey size used to be the same. But like I said, the BCI mainland Colombian has gotten a lot bigger, so he's now onto a small rat opposed to the mainland dwarf being on a mouse still. So also guys, there is 9 accepted subspecies of boa constrictor but out of those 9 accepted subspecies, there may be more, but there's 9 accepted subspecies, and in another video we'll get into each subspecies, but each subspecies has a lot of localities, guys. So there's tons of different types of boas out there that ranging with different patterns, color, size, you know, even their ability to withstand different temperatures is different depending on where they're from. So it's really cool, guys. But basically what we'll do right now is we covered kind of all the bases I wanted to cover. Just getting into the boas. Boas kind of grow fast too, depending on how you feed them. And you know, they are one of the longest snakes in the world, guys. They're nowhere near like a reticulated python or their cousins, the anaconda or Burmese, but they are a pretty big snake, guys. So just remember that. Some of these snakes can reach, like I said, 40 pounds, 10 feet long, 50 pounds, even bigger, and so they do become pretty big. So, and in the wild, guys, a lot of small, you know, small babies and subadults will eat small birds, bats, small mice, even amphibians and stuff like that. But in captivity, you're just going to be wanting to feed rat pups, mice pups, fuzzies, hoppers, mice, small rats, and things of that nature. So before we go, what we're going to do is I am going to, yep, we got some time left, guys. I am going to show you a Costa Rican dwarf boa. It's in shed right now, so it's not too happy. Alright guys, this is a 9-month-old Costa Rican pink belly dwarf boa. And I don't know if you can really get the pink on there because it's in shed and there's not good lighting, but if you see on the bottom of the tail here, how the bottom right there is white, and then after the cloaca, which is basically the poop hole, after the cloaca, it becomes all dark. That's all orangish pink after it sheds. You know, so you can see, I don't know why it doesn't have any orange or pink once it goes beyond the cloaca down to the bottom of the tail. I'm not sure, but as you see, guys, this is a 9-month-old male pink belly Costa Rican dwarf, and it eats every 10 days, and it eats a live adult mouse. So before we go, we're going to show you the difference to a 9-month-old. This boa might be 9.5 months old, male, BCI, Colombian, het albino T+. So the het albino T+ doesn't mean anything. It's not going to make it get any bigger. And this guy did just eat though, so he has a really fat belly. But this snake was born 4/20. What a great date, right guys? But this snake was born 4/20 of 2017. So yes, this snake is 9 months old, guys. 9 months old. Actually, it's about 9 months, 2 weeks. So the other snake, actually, this one they're right around the same age. Like I said, a couple weeks difference. But it has a nice chunky rat in it right here, so we won't hold it too long. It has a small rat, but you see the size difference, guys. These snakes are basically 2 weeks apart, and this snake is almost double its size. And that just shows you how much bigger these mainland BCIs can get, opposed to, say, a mainland dwarf species such as the Costa Rican pink belly dwarf. And so when you have a boa like that, and you're thinking housing and long term, guys, you can kind of say, well, maybe I'll get a mainland dwarf species or an island dwarf boa, and you know, that way it won't be as hard to house when it gets bigger. The food items will be smaller, maybe cheaper. So, and not as often either, guys. Some of these dwarfs do not eat as often as, say, these big regular BCI, BCC mainland boas. And I'm currently breeding a pair of mainland Nicaraguan dwarf boas, possible het type 2 anery. So that's going to be really cool, guys. And they're actually right now taking a rest from each other. I'm going to offer the male who's in a tub right here, I'm going to offer